Oh hey, I didn't notice you there. I was too busy knitting. Today's demonstration is in fact going to be about learning how to knit. Now, to be a knitter, depending on what you want to knit, you need a lot of patience. Now, back in the day when I was a wee lad, I went to a Waldorf school and I learned how to knit. Now my mom also knows how to knit, and she has since taught me more on how to knit and how to become better at knitting. And as you can see, I knitted this whole scarf just within the last couple days, since I always need to keep my fingers busy, so it's kind of crazy. Anyway, now here's how you knit. So I'm working on a scarf right now. It's nice. You use some nice wool and stuff. Now a couple things you want to have is you want to have some knitting needles. My needle is just a short needle like this, and there's two of them. This one and then there's this one. You want to of course have some yarn. I always choose my good old goldish beige yarn, and then you need to be ready to knit and have a positive attitude and get ready to knit. So now, how you want to knit. This string right here that's attached to this right here, this is your knitting string. So you're going to take this. The basic principle of knitting is you go, first of all, the first stitch you always slip off the needle. So we'll take the first stitch right here and we'll just slip it off onto the other needle like this. Now we can begin knitting. Alright, so this extra string, I find it easiest if you wrap it around through your pinky like this, and then wrap it around your finger twice like this, because it's faster that way, because then you can just go in through the stitch, grab the yarn really fast like that, pull out and jump out like that, and you don't have to. Now another way you could knit is if you go in like this, then you have to pick the yarn up, wrap it around, pull it through, and pull it off. But who really has that much time? So make sure you take this and you wrap it around both your fingers like this. Now, the real principle of knitting is as follows. You want to take this needle, can you see, there you go, and you want to go in through the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, and pull it off. That's all. And now, when I was back in the Waldorf school back in the day, they taught us a rhyme. It went like this. In through the front door, dancer on the back, peep through the window, and off jumps Jack. Kinda silly, kinda childish, you may think, but after all, I was just a white belt back in those days in knitting, my knitting class, and now I'm a blue belt in my knitting class, which is pretty good. Especially since I'm a guy. Not very many guys knit that I know. So, it's good. Anyway, you want to do this process over and over again, and then this is it. This is knitting. And you can get faster at it or slower, medium speed. But essentially, with every stitch you have on your yarn, not your yarn, with every stitch you have on your needle, you just go in through the front, you go through the stitch like this, grab the other string like this, come through like this, and then whoosh, just pull it off like that, and then repeat. And one, grab the thing, through, off, and just repeat that as many times and as many stitches as you have on your needle. And then when you're done with all the stitches on your needle, you'll just go back the other way. So what that's going to look like. So see here, I'm running out of stitches on my needle. See, this is the last one right there. Boom, needle empty. So guess what I do? I switch hands with the needles. Put this one in my left hand, do the same thing back the other way. Wrap this around my thing, my pink band, and then like that. And then remember, the first stitch you always You don't knit the first stitch, you always slide it onto the other needle, and then begin knitting. Now, since I'm a blue belt in my knitting class, I can knit at this speed. If you can't knit this fast, take your time. It's not like you're going to become a blue belt overnight. It's taken me years in my knitting class to get this high up. So, yeah. Now you know how to knit, and knit. Thanks for watching. Felix Knits.